sasa tusaidie mambo ya timekeeping. Watu bado wanavaa, watu vaa. Aha. Anyone? Aha. Mimi tayari nimeshaona. Mwenye anauliza yeye mwenyewe amevaa. Si ndio? Anauliza. Okay. This one I think will have to be sorted well before it is brought back here. My friend, nikiomba upate mkipote itakuwa umetusaidia sana. Tafadhali. So you will help us to ensure that as we run the program, we are all respecting and keeping to that time to avoid that we have presentations that are overlapping. Along the way, we might need to be energized. For instance, either after tea or after lunch when energy levels will be low. Therefore, we've had a request to get an energizer, someone to be energizing us. Martin anasema nani? Martin anasema Kamau anasema Martin. Now, who can break this impasse around here? Kamau anasema Martin anasema Kamau. Now, because these are two different tables, this table can assist us to break the impasse. Okay. That one is sorted. I want to request everyone that considering we want to start our program, please let's ensure that all our phones are on silent mode, just to ensure that we don't have unnecessary interruptions. And where possible, if you can, zero inaweza kuwa iko pia sawa. Now, I want to take everyone through just briefly through the program of the day before we start with the opening remarks from the different actors that were involved in the project. I want to say that in terms of time, we might not be doing so well. They say all activities will start at 9, whereby we will do introduction and opening remarks. So we hope that we'll be able to do this very fast. This will be followed by presentations relating to juvenile or child justice and alternative justice system. So this is simply because that was one main component within the Aprire project. During the introduction, we'll be told what Aprire project, what it was all about, so that eventually by the end of the day, we can determine whether did we achieve our objective or we still have some things that are still pending. After the first session, it will be followed by other presentations relating to the strengthening of the juvenile child justice system and services. So here we have representatives both from government as well as from the civil society that have been acting within this space. They will be able to share with us how their experience was within the Aprire project. This will take us up to tea break and after. Then the third component of the Aprire project related on issues of care reforms in Kenya, whereby there was a piloting project relating to foster care and kinship care. So here we're talking about alternative family-based care. We will have both from government side as well as from the society side telling us the experiences on how everything turned out in the field. That will take us to lunch break. After lunch, we will come back for a short time for us to be able to do the stock taking that I'm talking about. Look at the lessons that were learned as a result of implementing this project, the action points that are necessary going forward, so that these action points are informed opportunities that we together will be able to generate during the afternoon session. We will conclude with a question and answer session, and then have tea at the end of the day. In a nutshell, that is going to be our program for today. And I wish to not only ask for active participation, but I hope that all of us will be together, both physically and virtually, from the beginning to the end. Having said that, because we want to start with introductions so that we all know who is in the house, we won't want to start and we have strangers amongst ourselves and we don't know each other. I think it will just be good practice that we start with introductions, then we have the first speaker talking to us. Okay, so maybe we'll start with introductions from this side. We just have the map. Please.
Good morning, all. I'm Patrick. I work for Chefa. Good morning. I'm Josephat Gore, DCS, Kasarani.
Good morning again. I'm Rosemary, Corrective Community Action, social worker.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Francis Ndolo, and I work for SEPA.
Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Gabriele Proieto, and I work for SEPA.
Asante sana.
Good morning, everybody. This is Carla from the Tree of Life.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone. Francesco Columbo from Italian Agency. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth Oshuka from Association for Alternative Family Care.
Karibu sana.
Morning, everyone. I'm Caroline Achino from Probation and Aftercare Service.
Feel welcome.
Good morning. My name is Hannah Mainge, Probation and Aftercare Service.
Asante.
Good morning. My name is Josephine from Tangaza University College.
Karibu sana.
Good morning. My name is Ruth Areri from the Directorate of Children's Services. Thank you.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone. Stanley Rotich from Directorate of Children's Services.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joanne Kawera from Directorate of Children's Services.
Karibu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Kamau from the Association for Alternative Family Care, as well as Child in Family Focus. Thank you.
Karibu.
Good morning, all. Imbai Hudson, Director of Children's Services. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Good morning, all. My name is Murigi Alfred from Directorate of Children's Services.
Asante.
Good morning, all. I'm Evelyn. I work with Kenya Prison Service.
Karibu.
Good morning. I'm Agnes Kendi from Kenya Prisons.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Bianca from Kenya Prison Service.
Asante.
Good morning. My name is Irene Bundi from Challenge Network of Kenya.
Karibu. We'll go to our facilitators here, please.
Good morning. My name is John Thega. I'm from Totonis.
Karibu.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer.
Asante.
Hi, good morning. My name is Miriam Jomo. Also working with Total News.
Asante sana. So we would have Martin, please, you can assist from that end. They also introduce themselves.
So, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Mhm.
My name is Annette. I work for Tree of Life.
Karibu.
Good morning, all. My name is Elias Kiremi, and I work for Tree of Life.
Karibu.
Good morning. My name
Mhm.
is Priscilla. I work for Tree of Life.
Karibu. So thanks to everyone for the introductions. I want to, please.
Samuel Nyuing, I work with the African Institute for Children's Studies. Thank you.
Karibu sana. I really want to appreciate Sam because it's a in and it takes some sacrifice to come from where he is coming from. It has been a journey on him. So with that, I want to say karibuni wote to events today. I want to call upon our first speaker, who is going to give us the framework and overview about the Aprire project before we have representatives from Kenyan government giving us some opening remarks. Karibu sana Madam Karma Muskau.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope I'm audible enough with the microphone. Welcome, and please receive very warm greetings and welcome from the Aprire Consortium. So all the protocols observed, it's an honor for me to talk at the beginning of the conference. I know we are already late, so I'll try to be very quick and very fast with the aim of providing everybody with the general framework of the program. I would like to invite Jennifer to open my presentation. Yeah, in the meantime, I can already tell you that the Aprire program started some time back in 2018, so more than 3 years ago. What was the purpose of the program? To support, to contribute to the protection of children by strengthening the jurisdiction, a component related to the justice, to the big focus of children once they exit the statutory institution. Last but not least, a component related to alternative family care, foster and kinship care, development of guidelines, manuals, training manuals related to foster and kinship care. So those have been the main components of the program. Jenny? Yeah. Yeah. So we can connect it. How did we implement such a wide program with a variety of partners, both international, national, and above all, with the great support and cooperation with several government departments? So this is also for me a great opportunity to acknowledge the great cooperation and partnership that we had for more than 3 years, long list of government agencies. So I would really like to thank, on behalf of the Aprire all departments involved in the program, namely the Director of Children's Services, both alternative section, the prison service, and after service, National Council for Children's Services, the NCAJ, as well as Judiciary and ODPP. All those ensuring its success. So a big thank to all of you also for being here today. Obviously, the program would have not been possible without the support of the Italian cooperation, the main donor. Because as Francesco said a few minutes, Italy is very much committed to support any program or bilateral program. Obviously, we cannot miss to thank all partners. I prepared a long list of partners that I can share with you, sir. And so it's on our hand said that the program is going to end in November, but this conference is also a way to discuss together what are the main gaps, what are the main findings, what are the lessons learned, and how can we move forward together for the future with the same common goal of protecting children in Kenya. So I think it's enough. I would like to invite the next speaker. Thank you so much once again.
Thanks a lot, Madam Carla, for the beautiful introductory remarks and giving us an overview about what Aprire project is all about, what it has been for the last 3 years, now that we are talking of its conclusion. I believe we've gotten to understand that it has 3 components, very key components that are somehow aligned to our program of the day that all of us are now going to get, because we also realize in one way or the other at some point, maybe people who are working on one component were not fully sensitized on what was happening in another component. And therefore, it is important that at this moment, we all get to know exactly what has been happening in all the components. With that, I want to invite government representatives just to give us opening remarks in relation to our event today and the project in itself. I will start with this year's alternative family care section. I wish to invite the representative to come and to Salimie.
I'm actually standing in for our director, that is Madam Karen Ogoti, who is the head of the Alternative Family Care Division. And as you know, that is the division that is spearheading care reform efforts in the country. Allow me just to read a few notes that she would have read to you. And I'll begin by saying that the Directorate of Children's Services, jointly with FADB and other stakeholders, that is UNICEF, Changing the Way We Care, SOS, Collective Community Action, Stahili, and other like-minded organizations have been involved in the current care reform effort. The Directorate recognizes the efforts of FADB, which has the primary objective of promoting and protecting children's rights and well-being. We are aware as a directorate that the Aprire program started in May 2019 and was designed as a 3-year project to promote and protect the rights of vulnerable children in conflict with the law as per the UNCRC. We are also aware that the Aprire project had 3 main pillars, and one was a strengthening of restorative justice. Second, improvement of psychosocial support. And thirdly, to enhance foster care services. Our main focus as the DCS is actually in the 3rd component, where FADB actually has been the lead in the development of a foster care training manual for practitioners and parents. The training manual is aimed to promote foster care services through creating awareness and exchange programs We are aware that FADB has been piloting foster care programs in the counties of Nairobi and Nakuru, where positive feedback has been recorded, and this success will be shared in this forum. Just recently, FADB hosted a virtual exchange webinar between Kenya and Italy. A new technology in hosting such events, the current COVID-19 restrictions. Let me conclude by thanking FADB management and staff for organizing this event and bringing on board players in the alternative family care. We hope that by virtue of ending this Aprire project, that FADB will still continue and sustain all the programs that it started. So thank you very much. That was the note that would have been read by our director, which I have read on our behalf. And I wish to welcome you all to this celebration of the Aprire program. And on behalf of our section, which has been spearheading care reform efforts in the country, my colleague in his presentation will take you through the various achievements that we attained in the care reform journey with the assistance of like-minded partners like FADV and UNICEF and SOS. So thank you very much. We are glad to be part of this celebration, and we are hoping we are going to have fruitful deliberations. Asanteni.
Asante sana. We are ready for the very full opening remarks. That is, as you could note, it is also related somehow to the component on care reforms, where we are talking about foster care and kinship care. Next, I want to invite, still under DCS, under the institutional section, Madam Ruth to open for us.
Yes, good morning once again. Good morning. Yeah, I'm delighted to stand before you. My name is Ruth Areri, an Assistant Director at the Directorate of Children's Services. I'm standing here on behalf of our Director, Madam Judy, in charge of Institution Section, to also recount the interactions and achievements we've made so far with the support of Aprire project. And I want to, in the first instance, to thank all the Aprire partners for the work that they have done, the journey they've walked with us, especially in the areas of support for through care, where all the juvenile justice agencies, I can see my colleagues from prison here, I can see my colleagues from probation, and probably others I didn't hear from the other JJS. They know the role, the central role that Aprire project has played in terms of helping us to look at the procedures, helping us to come up with a handbook for telehealth. We actually carried out telehealth training with support of Aprire partners during COVID especially, and just want to thank the partnership that we've had, appreciate the partnership that we've had. With regard to juvenile justice, I said standing here for the sake of institutions, FADV and other partners have done immense work for children in our statutory institutions. For DCS, we have children rehabilitation schools, we have children remand homes, and we have rescue centers. FADV has been very instrumental, and let me say Aprire in general, in terms of seconding some volunteers to assist in beefing up the staff that serve the children in such institutions. We have a lot of support received in psychosocial support in terms of life skills for children in statutory institutions. We also have had toolkits provided with the support of FADV and Aprire project to our children when they exit and they have already acquired certain skills. So those are startup kits that they go with to be able to begin life. And that's a very big aspect of family strengthening because it addresses the root cause of children landing into institutions. Poverty has been cited quite a lot, and as a driver of children into crime, and subsequently they find themselves in institutions. So such empowerment is very highly appreciated, without forgetting the support that the institutions received during the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of COVID hygiene materials to the statutory institutions under DCS, and of course the others will talk for themselves. Madam Kala has talked about reintegration, and actually on behalf of DCS and our section within DCS, I want to appreciate the very big role that FADV has been playing in Aprire project in supporting reintegration. For government, we know that we cannot do it all, and we were limited to a certain extent because reintegration involves quite a lot, massive resources, and we thank you because this far we've been able to get there because of the support of the partners in Aprire project. And in a nutshell, I really want to thank this partnership, and I know these partners are going to reincarnate in another form because I'm aware there's something else cooking. So even as we say bye-bye, we are not fully saying bye-bye to these partners that we've been working with. I know we shall continue with this partnership. And I want to wish you a very nice closure event. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Asante sana, asante sana. Now, within the spirit of institutions, improving services within institutions, I want to invite representative from the prisons, Kenya prisons, to be able just to give us some opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone, once again. Elizabeth Bianca from Kenya Prison, Social Welfare Officer. So today, Director Madam Olivia was not able to be here, but I'm happy that our institutional managers are able to join us through virtually. And I would like to take this opportunity to pass Madam Olivia, our director's in regard to our partnership with SEFA and Aprire. She takes note that we've been working with the SEFA and Aprire under three pillars in terms of restorative justice, diversion, service provision within the justice system, and alternative family care. So she sent a message that she would like to commend the partners for their noble project towards attaining sustainable integration for the children and youth with technical and soft skills, as well as linking them with opportunity after existing the justice service system. It has been a great journey working with SEFA and Aprire towards ensuring that we have a safe and a smooth containment of our children in our institution. Through the project of building the counseling room and the starter kit, the reintegration of the children in the society has been easy. We are able to release our children to go with skills, and at least they have something to start off their life, since those are the major issues that actually affect our children who are outside there. They are not able to have a standing point in society. Through this project, our children have been able to get something, and they've been able to go back as a new and somebody who can be actually be important to the society. And therefore, we thank you very much for the project. And our director also said that she looks forward towards more partnership and more engagement. Thank you.
Asante sana, asante sana. What is the representative from the Kenya Prison Services? I want to invite a representative from the Probation and Aftercare Services as some new participants.
Good morning. My name is Anna Mainge, and I'm accompanied here by my colleague Caroline Atieno. We both work for probation and aftercare service in the section that is handling children matters. And that is why we are representing our director here. She thought it appropriate that we take part in this, we participate in this. Maybe those ones who are not very much aware we do as probation and aftercare service. We are in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government in the State Department for Correctional Services. We are the only two services there with prisons. And we pride ourselves by calling ourselves brothers and sisters. They deal with custodial offenders, and we deal with non-custodial offenders. So again, that is our departure. They are inside, we are outside. And that is why Matters Children, the Aprire project, found it very appropriate because we fall in the reintegration pillar. We were only able to fit in the reintegration pillar, although we have benefited so much from other pillars. And this is because we have some of our children who are committed to probation hostels. These are institutions where our children, they are on custodial measures, but because of other reasons at home, they are not able to be reintegrated, joined by their families immediately after a court order, but they have to be stabilized somewhere else. That's a probation hostel. And as I speak of the probation hostel, I also want to recognize my colleagues who are tuned in virtually, all the managers of the probation institutions. Yes, somewhere. These are the people we really want to appreciate because they are the ones who have been implementing and achieving these results for the department. And the partners who have come in handy, particularly in the integration and provision of toolkits for the children who are, and some adults who are leaving the probation institutions, and improvement of our infrastructure in those institutions. I am sure when they start the results, and not just deal with those in the infrastructure for those ones who are inside. We want to thank everyone, all the partners here who worked with us, and the support we got from the Aprire partners for the successful implementation of the project. And maybe just to mention something, that in that very good report that we received, you also include the logo, the government logo, so that we also feel appreciated as government agencies. I realized all the logos there is none for government agencies, so that we belong, we feel that we belong. Thank you very much.
Asante sana for the beautiful remarks. I think, I don't know if there's any other government entity that is not giving the opening remarks. Anyone from judiciary? Please. Karibu.
Morning. My name is George Waidaka. I'm the court administrator, Nairobi Children's Court. And I'm representing the chief magistrate who is new in the station. I think this is the first week she's around, so she told me to come and represent her. And also the magistrate who have been concerned mostly, who is Honorable Vitonga, also is busy, so he could not make it. So they told me to come and represent them and tell them to come here and say that they are so happy about SEPA and the Aprire project. They have really assisted the courts in terms of trainings. They have trained few departments and also our CUC. They are part of our CUC members, and they have trained other stakeholders on the pre-bargaining, diversion, and restorative justice. Also, there was another training they did for us for the e-filing for the CUC members, and they are so happy. As the Aprire program comes to an end, we hope that there will be another one, and we will continue. And the judiciary, and mostly the children's department, the children's court, is really willing to continue partnering with them. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Till now, from government side, that somehow at least we've received open remarks for the 3 components of the project. With that, I want to invite a representative from the Italian Corporation to give us open remarks, considering that thanks to them, we got funding to be able to implement what we implemented. Karibu.
Can you hear me like this? Yeah. So, representatives of government, representatives of NGOs, dear partners, the investigators, all protocols observed. Good morning, everyone. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for this invitation today to take part in this final conference, marking the end of the Aprire project funded by our agency. I'm honored to stand here today on behalf of our head of office, Mr. Fabio Mignoni, whom to previous commitments could not attend the ceremony with us. In sending his regards to all of you here, Mr. Mignoni wishes that this occasion will bring fruitful talks and discussion on what has been done so far through the Aprire project and which are the next steps to take in such critical sector in Kenya. Today, we are here to celebrate the achievements the program accomplished through the past years. In particular, it is worth to note the introduction of practices and procedures on alternative dispute resolution and restorative justice, with 700 public officers trained and 137 minors referred. The improvement of psychosocial and educational support, as well as scholastic and professional family reintegration services in targeted institutions. We had like 1,225 minors reintegrated from juvenile justice institutions. And then finally, the enhancement of foster care services as an alternative measure to detention and as a measure to protect vulnerable children, with over 60 minors placed in foster care families. Those were just some of the fruits brought by this project, a project the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation is proud to have funded, a project that did not start from the scratch, but built up on the sound outcomes of the previous initiatives. This also brought to the launch and piloting of the Juvenile Justice Information Management System, the publication of a Pan-African Research on Restorative Justice, the establishment of the African Council Juvenile Justice, and many more achievements which aim at supporting children with special needs and involving young people, especially these, and assisting them to job market opportunities, even with the challenges that COVID pandemic faced. In implementing the project activities, the efforts put in place through the Aprire greatly supported the ongoing efforts of Kenya in achieving the United Nations SDG number 16 by promoting peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, providing access to justice for all and building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Let me also say the Italian agency is keen on working and collaborating with the Kenyan government to implement all the UN agenda, the Kenyan agenda, the 2030 vision through our ongoing bilateral projects and the future bilateral projects to foster sustainable development in Kenya. From our agency, I would like to say hongera sana to all the partners and all the institutions for the achievements of these results. Thanks to everyone who has contributed to the realization of this ceremony and to the project implementation. We have received much, and I am sure that what was done with Aprire will bring even more achievement in the future. Asante sana.
Asante sana, grazie. With that, I want to invite our energizer to apigie wote wamepeana opening remarks. Tuwapigie wote pamoja makofi.
should I assume that you want to take breakfast? So let's stand and take breakfast. So, all right? And choose the here in Kenya we say escort. The escort that you love. Which one do you love? Yeah, she takes githeri in the morning. So of course everyone loves tea, isn't it? Isn't it? So put some tea somewhere, of course in a cup. If you use the small cup, put in a small cup. If you use a big cup, put in the big cup. If you take from the sufuria, I don't know how many. I don't take from sufuria anyway. All right, so have you put? Okay, so if you are for githeri, take your githeri. Take your githeri. If you are for your chapati, all right, so chapati is, and then, which other one? For ugali, I know nowadays there's a style, so you take, and then you know that one, eh? All right, so put your tea. Put your tea. Now take your chapati, for your githeri, and then for your ugali. All right, and then let's give the government stuff. All right, so that's all. So we'll finish with a huge clap. So let's do it. Oh, this microphone. Okay, so let's do it, all right? So let's put our tea. Let's put our githeri. Our chapati, fold it. Our ugali. And then, so.
Asante sana. I hope your breakfast in Aprire. That's heavy breakfast. Now with that, I want to invite Patrick from SEFA because we want to get to the first component of the project. We are now getting to issues Aprire. First component of the project, whereby we will get a background of a video and then presentation of what was achieved under this component. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. That sounds better. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to talk about the resort one, but I'm going to ask the media people to play that video. After we watch the video, then I'll go to the short presentation. This is a video based on a real case scenario of a child that we assisted. And during the presentation, I'll dwell more on that.
So kitu mimi ilifanya niingie kwa ugodi ni day wenye wazazi wali divorce, kabaki na mzae. So vile nilibaki na mzae, akakuja kwa bibi wa pili. So huyo bibi wa pili kuna venye alikuwa ananichukia hivyo mateso, ndio nikaamua kutoka home niingie mtaa juu. Huyo madhe alikuwa anitesa sana.
Huyo mtoto shida zake zilianza wakati tumeseparate na baba yao. Ndio mimi nilimwacha huko na baba yao, nikakuja home. Sasa venye nilikuja home, kumbe mtoto baba yake akampeleka shule, akamwachiza akiwa class 7. Sasa venye alinifuata hadi huku home, mtoto mwenyewe hakuendelea na shule, mimi sikuwa na uwezo. Lakini ni ile tu watoto wa sister yangu wakaona wamchukue mechanics huko Thika. Sasa kumbe huko Thika ameenda kuanza ile group ya Amali Sababu. Na mimi mwenyewe mzazi sikuwa najua. Sasa mimi mwenyewe nilikuja kujua baadaye wakati mtoto amekamatwa, amepelekwa Kamiti.
So during the already established partnership with YCTC, the part of the juvenile prison, we got a phone call from an organization called SEFA, who work also with juveniles. And they presented a case to us where this boy is still in remand, and they presented that they would prefer him not to go to jail, but because of his case and some sensitive issues, they would prefer him to try out a diversion program instead of a sentence. And we were so happy to hear that, because we know prison has to be there, but for some youth, it is so much better not to go to prison, but to be able to go straight to a project where they will receive counseling and further rehabilitation for their needs.
So ndio nikakamu huku, nikapata huku wanafanyanga mambo ya farming, wako na skills mingi, kuna farming na kufunzwa mambo ya tractor, computer ziko. So ndio nikakuja nikaanza kupewa hiyo knowledge huku sasa. So nikaona hii kwa saa juu hiyo knowledge yenye iko huku, kuna venye singeipata nikiwa huko nje. Na kama ningekuwa huko nje bado ningekuwa maybe ningekuwa dead hivyo.
He has some little challenges here and there like all the other boys do, but it's been a while now. He's been at the farm. He's really improved. He's actually very clever, and he is going to make it. We really believe that soon he will graduate and he will hopefully be an example to other boys.
Thank you so much for that. So from the video that you've seen, you're able to pick the background in a very brief way because it is a very summarized one. But the background of the boy and the genesis of the problems that he was facing can be traced back in the family. Having come from a family that was not functioning well, and parents separated, and after that he was under the care of a stepmother. They couldn't cope with the stepmother. And as a result, because of the differences that were in the family, the child was not well taken care of and started interacting with other groups of boys outside. Just to give a little bit of that background, that he got lured. He didn't join fully, but he was already getting into contact with another group that we came actually to understand later on is one of the groups that is an illegal group. So when we went back to check the background of the child, we did not pick any serious offenses that the boy was previously engaged in, except this particular one. Yet he was being moved to a very risky group, so to speak. And this child was at the YCTC in the remand and came to the hands of the prosecution. Looking at the evidence that was brought, could not sustain a case of that magnitude. And then the boy was, talking. Actually, how the boy got apprehended by the police was because the boy felt that he was endangered and approached a pastor in a nearby church that he knew and confessed the life that he's living. The pastor did not know to handle that case because I think the pastor was kind of afraid that if I know this information and I conceal this information, either it will come to endanger the boy or it will endanger me. So that is how the pastor actually took him to the station. Initially, he felt very betrayed by the prosecution, so we are trying to stitch back the information behind. And we assessed the background, and we said, okay, this boy would need to be given another opportunity, another chance. And that is the issue to do with the diversion. If you could go to the next slide, please. And when we're talking about diversion, this is the first component of the project. We are talking about giving opportunities to children, and especially first offenders, who are willing to cooperate with the agencies to see how best they can be assisted. But looking at the background of that child, once more, we said it was not very safe to take back the child to the family. Of course, through diversion, when we give the first opportunity and the first encounter with the child,
and we say this is a first offender who is already confessing and is willing to be helped, we need not take this child to a Boston institution. We need not take this child probably home, depending on the circumstances. This child, as we assessed together with the agency, said home might not be the right place for them, for him. But probably in another institution where he is isolated from the group and he is learning skills that would be able to help him regain his positive image, that could be good. And that's how we ended up this. So in the next slide, please. We are doing diversion, but our diversion, as you know, in the country, we have got the diversion policy in place, but we don't ODPP. But the approach that we are using is that it is not enough to exit a child from the system. But the question is, when you exit the child from the system, where do you take this child? And that's how you see the background of that video. At that point, it was not right for this child to go back home because he would easily be lured by this group. And at the same time, we did not have the family, coming together to support the child. So we decided to take the child to an institution where he could get some skills. And he has been there now since last year. We consider this as one of our success story because he came from a very difficult situation, but the institution initially had some problem in engaging him and understanding the child. But right now, he is more stable and he is actually one of the leaders in the institution. So our entry point is we look at the diversion from the point of the National Police Service, Department of Children's Services, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the judiciary, and of course the community. The child is beginning from here. At this point is where we are getting the child. And then after that, we are getting the child from the department, we are getting the children's office right at the community level. And we are beginning to interact with the children's services, especially the children's officers. However, we may not have the chance here, but we will have the chance when the child is at the office of the Director of Public Prosecution, when the case has already been brought by the police. So we get to know him. But we have to go back and begin to interact with the DCS, the children's office, to understand whether they know this child and probably who could be there in the community that can help us to understand the child. And from here, if the case meets the merit for diversion, we move towards that step of diversion, and if especially the parents, the children have come forward to. And of course, there are certain other chances that we actually find that the case was already taken by prosecution, but already in the judiciary, is already in the court. So we begin our diversion process from that point. And that's why you see this child was already in a YCTC remand because had already gone through these steps and was already in the institution. So we started working now from the institution. But our aid work that we are going to do ends in the community. And this is where we look for opportunities for diversion, the programs that we can put. So we have some programs, go to the next. We have some programs that we put, for instance, through the community within the family setup itself. But we also have other programs that we are doing when we liaise with other agencies like the institution that we have seen. So, and diversion, as I said, is these measures that we are using and not necessarily following the entire judicial process. But the diversion process, how I am saying that it is supported, we are supporting it with restorative justice. Restorative justice probably where an offense was committed and there was a victim of the offense. But we also do in a situation where probably the family has been aggrieved in a way. They are not victims as such, but there is a broken relationship. Through the video, though we couldn't be able to see to show everything because of the time, we managed to reach the mother. We managed, as you saw in that video, we managed to reach the father who now has separated with the mother and sensitize them and told them, this child belongs to the two of you. Even if you are not able to put up together, the child is yours. Could you give the support, the emotional support and the love that the child requires? So the mother is visiting. They actually, was it in August? August holidays, the child went to stay with the mother in Gatodo, where also the the grandmother is situated. The father comes from a different part of the country, I think in Ikisi, but the father has come to see the child in the institution, and the mother goes also to the institution to see the child. So at least that reunion is beginning to come back, and that's what we are talking about, the restoration of a relationship. And the boy is very happy that he is now able to get into contact with both the parents, though the two parents are not living together. You can go to the next. Yeah, in this resort, where we have interacted, our presence, we have been in Nairobi, we have worked at Shaurumau Police Station, in Milimani Children's Court. We have also worked in the ODPP's office within Milimani, but basically at the Milimani Children's Court. And we have supported Starehe, Kariobangi, and Madara area advisory councils. Through this, because diversion was new, we have supported through the trainings. So we have been having trainings targeting this. And then in Mombasa, Inuka Police Station and Kiabani Police Station, Tononoka Children's Court, Tononoka Prosecution's Office at the Tononoka Court, and also Likoni and Nyeri ANCs. So our diversion package that we are doing the training is to look at the entire process and to look at the roles of each AAC, what they would need to do. You see, the role of the AAC will surely not be the role of the ODPP, isn't it? Am I in the room now? I might need to count people now, so that when I count, you say, yes, I am.